Hello, well welcome to Lister LD1 Restoration Part 13, and today we're going to be doing nothing to the block for the moment. Nothing here. I'm going to give the pulley one more coat of deep Brunswick green, and over here we've got the fuel tank. And what you can see have happened is the original hole here has been filled in. We welded it, but it had slight like air holes in it, so it probably wasn't done right, but I didn't do the weld, my uncle did, he works at the body shop. But don't worry about that because we've got this slight chemical metal stuff, not car body filler. Nice strong stuff, and that sealed it up, so we're going to sand that flat. Here's a new hole here. Because it's an early engine, instead of coming out the side of the engine up and round to this side of the tank, it comes out between the, if we come out here actually, it might make sense roughly. Imagine the cylinder heads on here. On like the LDs, the injector faces that way, comes up and around and out this way, comes out here. And then up into your tank and the LRs and all this sort of stuff. But on, I think it's up to 56, 1956 the LDs they were, maybe 57 as well. But this is 55, so this is second year production of the LD1. It comes out the injector here, down out, and then it comes out here and into the tank. And this tank had the recess for it here, but it wasn't drilled out, but it was drilled out this side. So we filled this one in, put this one out, so it saves me being like bodging, putting it out here, run the pipe out. So the tank will stay the right way round, or I could have just turned it over, but that hole will be further at the back, so we don't have to worry about that. So that's that. And also got a nice little present in the post, the silencer for it. See, this is a Lister D or equivalent. I assume it's a Lister D, I would have thought. I can't know any other Lister engine with that size manifold. Maybe Lister H, I suppose. That's the only other thing I could think about. But as you can see, it's a deep silencer. The Lister ones are, the ones for these engines were half the size. But they sound so much better with this silencer, apparently. So I've got that bit soaking WD-40. So when I get a lighter, when I find one, I'll heat that end up probably. Let's see if I can get that manifold off. Dad said you could cut the manifold off, but it looks like quite a good manifold. And I don't want to cut it off because I've got Lister D engines that I need manifolds for. So if I can get that, ideal. And I'm going to pick up silencers whenever I see them on the show, just because they're handy to have. And looking at it, there's no baffles in this silencer. So I'm going to assume they never had baffles from the factory. If anyone can correct me on that, I may be wrong, but they never had baffles as far as I'm concerned. That don't matter really, as long as it doesn't sound too noisy. If it is too noisy, I'll just shop around for a different silencer. I'll just like use that silencer on Lister D or something. That's no biggie, but that's the silencer I wanted. And the idea is, go over to the engine. Here it is, comes out here. There's the manifold. Instead of it like that, sticking out like MO3 minis, elbow, I want it sticking up, maybe come about that high probably. It won't have it that low, it should be higher than the air filter. That's the plan. If push comes to shove, I will screw it in that way. I won't have it facing down because it puts soot rings on it. But up is better, I think. That's the plan. So I've got the elbow and everything sitting. Yeah, so I think the first thing to do is start sanding this down. And if I can find a lighter, all the better. So I'm going to sand this down quickly. Okay, well I've done a bit of work, spent for a while I think, probably a good hour sanding this thing. You see I've got nice lovely, even the little tiny dents are all been sanded out. And they're looking pretty good, I would say pretty reasonable. There's one here that I don't really worry about. Again it's an old engine so it's going to have a few dents, isn't it? Same again, it's upside down ready for painting, but the old leak off pipe one's been covered up and that's all smooth. It's just like extra sealant, that's all. And it's pretty good stuff apparently, this epoxy chemical metal stuff. It's not JB Weld, it's a different brand, but I've never had a problem with it. Here I've used it on a Lister CS to like cover up a weld, and it's brilliant stuff, it doesn't leak. Brilliant. I highly recommend it. If I remember the name or find the tube again, I'll give you the name of it. But it is brilliant. So what we'll do now is I'm going to give this thing a coat of red oxide. So I'll clean it up and give it a coat of red oxide. Right then, as you see, tank's in primer. And it's looking reasonable. I've literally just run out of red oxide, which does suck, so I need to put another coat of red oxide on this. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow after school I'm going to run to Max Alva's, pick up a bigger tin of red oxide, because I am going to need it for another project which I'll be doing after this one. And that's why I want to get this one done now, before December at least before December. And it's about something like the 20th, well it's not even that, it's probably like 19th, 18th of December now, can't quite remember. So of October I meant. So if I can try and get this done by December, I should be quite chuffed, because I want to pick up 2 engines of a mate of mine, not mine personally, a Wolseley LD1 and Wolseley LD2. He wants me to strip down and just paint up and make sure they're all good inside. So as you can see, this is done. I couldn't find a lighter, so I'm going to take one from home, and when I get up here ask Dad and he'll lend me a lighter to do that, so I can use a blow lamp on it. So that's all red oxide, so that's all looking good. Not a lot over here, you see there's no thing in there, it's all skinned over and mucky. So that's all, I've got to get a new tin of that. I'm going to use the same stuff. Not a lot here, probably just wants another coat. We only want 1 coat now, so that's no biggie. 1 coat, and then once that's done, I will proceed on reassembling. I know during the course of me reassembling this week, I'll put a coat on the tank. Really it should be, if I do a coat tomorrow, well I won't be doing tomorrow, I'll be busy tomorrow. So Monday, maybe Tuesday I'll put a coat on. Wednesday will probably be a coat. Thursday, Friday, so it should be done by Friday. That's the plan. As long as the tank's done by Friday, and it should give it enough time to harden off. If it was a petrol tank, it would have been the first thing to paint it. On a petrol engine, the first thing to paint and the first 2 things you paint are the fuel tank or tanks, depends if you have a TVO engine, and the carburetor, if it needs painting. Or like inlet manifolds and stuff like that, they're the first things you paint. So paint has the longest to harden off for when you put fuel in it. That's what I usually think is the best thing to do, that's the way I do it. So as you can see, that's all done. So I'm just now going to do this now. There's not a lot I can do. The trolley is going to be varnished. I haven't shown you much of the trolley. Well, I haven't shown you any of the trolley yet, but I think that's looking quite good. When I get that sort of decent-ish, because I don't really like to show my woodwork, it's not great, I should say. So yeah, so I'll keep you posted. So should be not long now, hopefully by the end of November it should be running, I hope. So yeah, thanks for watching and stay tuned for part 14.